5-minute show. I am here with Telle Whitney, who is the president and CEO of the Anita Borg Institute, and she has been kind enough to take a couple minutes out of her day and answer some questions. So first of all, being the president and CEO, I really want to know what that entails and what exactly you do.
Okay. Well, first of all, I should say I'm a technologist. I'm actually a computer scientist. I have a PhD in computer science, and I worked as an engineering executive until about 6 years ago when I took over at the Anita Borg Institute. And so when I took over as CEO, I had no clue what it meant to be a CEO of a nonprofit. And so in the last 6 years, I've spent a lot of time learning. A CEO of a nonprofit is ultimately responsible for the health of the organization and for developing the strategy of the organization, and then helping to deploy all of its programs. And so my job is, I've got a great staff, just an amazing staff, that we put together all of our programs. And we also talk to the people who support us. And for us, our funding primarily comes from our corporate sponsors. I think you've heard me acknowledge them. So a lot of my job is talking to them and understanding how it is that what they need aligns with our mission and our vision, and putting together plans that bring both of those together. So in addition, in addition to making sure that we have the funding, and also we want to make sure that the programs that we put together meet the needs of our communities. And our communities are industry and academia, both students, faculty, and industry professionals. We work with organizations ultimately to change the culture. So that means that we both work with the women who attend our programs and understand their needs and put together content that meets their needs. But it's important for us to be meeting with the leadership, because as you change the culture, you really need to align their vision with their workforce's vision of what they need. So just as an example, we just released a study, which we're very excited about. We talked to mid-career industry women who are, they're often leaving industry. And so we now have a lot of data about what industry women want. And with that study, we both bring it to the conference where we have a chance to show it to the attendees, but we also have the chance to go back and talk to many of the people who support us. And with data, sometimes some people have beliefs inside themselves about the way things are, and often if you can bring in data, they can see that perhaps it might need to be a little different. Let me give you, one of my best known examples is that I talked to a while ago, one of the engineering executives at one of the companies, and he really proclaimed that his organization was a meritocracy, that anybody could get ahead. It was just based on merit. But I happen to know that there was a lot of people who had attended Grace Hopper from his particular company, and they didn't feel that way. And so there was a disconnect. And this person was really well-intentioned. And so being able to demonstrate that perhaps what he thought was not really consistent with the values of his own employees was really an important role that we can play.
That is fascinating, and you sound so busy.
Well, one of the things as a nonprofit, and this is true for most nonprofits, is that you're so ambitious. We ultimately want to change the world, and and so you've got to make sure that the things that you do keep you closest to the places where you can have the most impact. One of the things that I'm really excited about this year is with our director of research, who helped with the research study, also has helped us to consistently measure our impact on all of our programs. And so it reminds us that some things have more impact than others, and we need to always remind ourselves of that.
Yeah. Well, just as a follow-up question, since this is a conference all about women in computing and technology, could you just sort of describe and say why it's so important that women are in technology fields?
Well, so what is technology? I mean, if you think about the last 50 years, a lot of the economic growth of the U.S. and even the global economy has come through innovation in technology. It is so important both to our economy but also to our future. And there's a lot of statistics about the fact that the results are better when you have different perspectives as part of the design of any project. We've got to have a study that the law has, there's better legal findings when there's diversity on the jury, with the judges. And certainly I believe that the creation of technology benefits by having women at the table. I believe that passionately.
That's great. Telle, thank you so much for taking this time out of your day to talk with us. And you have been watching Ed and Ashley's 5-Minute Show.